I'm not naming no names, but I wish you guys knew how easy it is to fake being wealthy for the internet here in LA. A lot of those big money guys and your favorite creators don't live where you think they live. So up the street from here, we have this $100 million mansion that costs $90 an hour to rent out. A lot of creators rent that space once a week, film their content, and make it look like they live there. Rent a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, 99 bucks an hour. It gets crazier because most people in LA have a following. Because to be a model or an actor, there's a lot of casting calls you can't go to unless you have a following. What used to happen is when you got with an agency, they would dump you a bunch of bots. Now most people realize how that damages an account, but the metrics are still there. And since most people don't know how to do that, they end up buying followers, likes, comments, shares, everything. So they can go to casting calls and keep their agency. There's even more because there's agency funded houses out here. Anyone who's part of that agency can go film there and make it look like they live there. And they encourage you to do this because it looks better for the internet. But there's even more because we also have designer rental services. It's between $300 and $800 a month, and you get bags, shoes, sunglasses, clothing, anything you need, all designer. Just wear it, get your pictures, and then send it back. As long as you don't ruin it, you don't have to pay for it. You can fully construct a lifestyle out here of wealth. And that's part of the reason we're starting to get a bunch of influencer debt resolution companies now. Like, you don't need to feel bad about yourself. Just wear the 10-cent shirt from the thrift store. Nobody cares, I promise you. Build your content around something else. You don't have to look rich to be a creator.
Real talk. Wear the 10-cent shirt. It's not that serious. I wear a black shirt every single day. I have a bunch of black shirts. Don't act like I'm wearing the same one. But I really don't care to wear any type of designer or appear that way on camera in the first place. That is honestly surprising to me how easy it is to fake this rich influencer celebrity lifestyle in LA. It is surprising, but at the same time, it's not. The current state of social media, everything's a flex. Everything is just keeping up with the Joneses, if you will. But I mean, is it that serious? Is it that serious to the point where you have to really put on a whole entire act, where you have to go out of your way to make it seem like you are just living this lavish lifestyle? I can't wrap my mind around it. I can't imagine spending money to try to fool people that I have money. Exactly. Make that make sense. Why don't you use all that effort into actually trying to make some money and trying to reach that level of wealth to where you can afford these things, not to where you're just renting out these items and taking a couple pictures and making a couple vlogs. I just don't get it. Trust me, this happens in Atlanta as well. It happens everywhere, especially in big cities though, like LA and Atlanta, Miami. Those are just some big ones. But yeah, this happens everywhere. I mean, just in my hometown, it was a college town, but because it was a college town, there was a lot of young kids who wanted to act like they were the superstars. So I seen it all the time. They were just renting vehicles. They were wearing a bunch of fake designer, just doing anything that they could to make it seem like they were the richest person in the city. The world is a stage. Yeah, literally. Yep, you can even rent pools. Yeah, you can literally rent anything. You can rent anything. That's why these creators have the same staircase. Yeah, right. Like, if you're going to do it, at least try a little harder than renting out the same house, the same vehicle, the same fake jet or whatever than the last guy.
Have you ever wondered how so many influencers can afford first-class travel and designer gear? As is often the case, there's a strong chance that what you're looking at is bullshit. One easy way to dupe people into thinking that you're rich is to Photoshop yourself onto a sandy beach in Bali when really you're at home taking a selfie in your bedroom. Then there's a designer packaging resale market. Depop is flooded with people selling bags from Hermes, Gucci and Tiffany's. Not Birkins, actual carrier bags. So you can post the bags on social media and give the impression that you just splashed the cash. Or in China, for less than £1, you can have your voice added to stock videos of stacks of cash and expensive luxury cars so that you can pretend those items are yours and upload to Instagram stories. And everyone's favourite? Paying for a studio mock-up of a private jet. This one is available for just $64 an hour. So instead of actually chartering a private jet, you can just do a 1-hour iPhone photo shoot and take loads of pictures and flex to your heart's content. Is it worth it?
Is it really worth it? You let me know. First and foremost, photoshopping anything is just kind of looked down upon in general, but let alone trying to pretend like you're at some luxury resort or something like that is just ridiculous. Now, this is one that I actually have not heard about. This actually stood out to me quite a bit. People are buying designer bags, just the bags, to make it seem like they just cashed out and bought a bunch of new clothes or jewelry or whatever. Are we serious? That is ridiculous. You're not even trying to flex or show off the item anymore. Y'all are just showing off the bags. Are you kidding me? That is bad. That just goes to show people will literally do anything. Paying for stock footage. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. Why not just pay for some footage and say you were the one who recorded it, right? And last but not least, probably my favorite method of fake flexing or pretending you have a bunch of money. The classic fake jet. This one is just hilarious to me because number one, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much it costs to have your own private jet. Now, granted, some people could just act like they're just riding in the jet, but a lot of people who do this have claimed that this is their private jet. And they think that making a couple TikToks or YouTube videos is going to be enough to buy that. And it's just, most of the time, it's just not. So that's just always so funny to me. One that I just watched recently, it was a guy who actually went kind of viral. He was on one of the like Pop the Balloon shows. He was on a Zoom call flexing with a bunch of jewelry, acting like he was on a private jet. And up close, you could kind of see the background. The wall just looked so just off and fake. And like, it didn't even look real up close. So it's really not hard to tell with a lot of these things. I've never been in a private jet. I've never even been near a private jet to my knowledge, but I still feel like it is just super easy to point this one out. So I always get a kick out of this one. This one just makes me laugh. And I don't know if you noticed, but she said you can rent this for just $64 an hour. Even the people who make these fake private jets and rent them out understand that the people who, the target audience for this, the market for this, doesn't actually have any real money. So we're going to make it pretty cheap. Isn't that insane? What a sad world. What a sad world indeed. There was an influencer who staged a vacation at IKEA. She showed how she did it later. No way. I actually want to look into that. Let me know if you want to see me make a video looking into that. It must be worth it. A lot of people are doing it and some are actually becoming rich. And that's the crazy thing about this. People wouldn't just be doing this for no reason. People would not be doing this if they weren't seeing some type of benefit for it. I mean, granted, some people are probably doing this just for the self-validation, just so other people can look at them and think they're cool. But in the influencer world, people are doing this to kind of fake it till you make it, if you will. People are trying to turn fake money into real money. And in some cases, a lot of cases actually, it's worked. And some people are successful with it. Regardless, I don't think that should be a method, especially like if you're just doing this just to try to look cool. That's even worse in my opinion. But yeah, like this comment said, people are actually becoming rich, and that's honestly the crazier part about this whole situation. So, knock people all you want. A hustle's a hustle. I still wouldn't do it, but hey, do your thing. I suppose it's worth it if you're the person selling those items. Facts. If you're out here selling fake designer bags, I'm sure you're making good money, or selling stock footage of Lamborghinis and stacks of money. I'm sure you're probably doing very well in today's market. And I'm really glad somebody brought it up. Shout out to Brooke for this comment. It's dangerous to the people they are influencing. They start getting into debt, etc. to keep up. Think about that. A lot of these influencers are literal gods to their viewers. A lot of their viewers can be little kids. They look up and they see these guys driving these fancy cars and these crazy mansions and throwing around money and all of that. And it can be positive because they're like, I want to be successful. I want to get money. But in a different light, other people are going to try to keep up with the Joneses, right? Other people are going to be like, oh, he has that Gucci belt. Maybe I need the Gucci belt. Rather than teaching people about financial literacy, teaching people about saving money, they're doing the exact opposite, and they're feeding into the whole idea of this consumerism. That's true. It's really dangerous to the people that they are influencing. They don't call it being an influencer for no reason. People look at you and they're going to want to follow suit. The look at me generation. Facts.
95% of Americans are fake rich. They may have, a nice big house, the Beamer, the whatever they got, and all this. They might have the fake Rolex or the fake this on. The problem with many people in my generation is they look rich, but they're fake rich. So the first thing that most guys or men and women buy is the big house. So these rock stars, football stars, they buy the big house. That's fake rich. Then they drive nice cars. And I have my Rolls sitting out here, I have my Ferraris. I love nice cars. And then they have a lot of bling. But that's a very, very poor person.
I love that. In these examples, people actually did buy the house. People actually did get the cars, but a lot of that could be just complete debt. So you technically are still paying for that. Technically, you don't even own that, right? If you look at it in that manner. But the message he's really trying to drive here is that these people are poor to their items. They're poor to their materialism. You can have this big fancy car and these nice watches and rings and big old chain and beautiful everything, but that's not real wealth. That's not what it is. These athletes will get a check and immediately just go out and buy that. That's fake rich. I love that. A lot of people don't get his message. Facts. Real wealthy people don't have anything to prove or impress people they don't like. They simply live their lives. Exactly. Truly wealthy people don't go around flexing their wealth. That's not what it is. Like I was saying, the big house, the big cars, you're being poor to your items. However, if I just live regular and I have all the money in the world to do whatever, I'm actually wealthy, I have generational wealth, I'm not a slave to anything. I'm not poor to anything. This person said they sold cars for years, and this is absolutely true. They would run a rich person's credit who was trying to buy a nice car, and they would be extended to the hilt. So, yep. See the nice car, you see the nice house. But it's all behind a mountain of debt.
People who are actually rich, they are not concerned about impressing you. We are apex predators and we do not give a fuck what you think about us. It's funny, I've seen so many comments from people asking things like, why you wear pajamas to Chanel and Dior? Oh, you got so much money but you can't afford a manicure? Honestly, we couldn't care less. But guess what? It's something you will only understand if you ever reach the kind of wealth where the store shuts down just for you. Every truly rich person I know walks into designer store like regular people walk into McDonald's. Seriously, grabbing whatever they want without even looking at the price because, well, we can. I want to ask all these people, when you get out of bed, decide you want coffee, and go to Starbucks, you don't dress up for that, do you? That's true wealth. Then you've got the wannabe rich who show up to the same designer store fully dressed up because if they don't look like they can afford it, the salesperson may ignore them. They try on as much as they can, then ask for a color they know the store definitely doesn't have, just so they can leave after taking some pictures for social media. And for those who said I have no style, well, let me tell you, fashion isn't for people who check the price tag before they buy. If you have to ask how much it costs, you are not the target audience, so you will never understand. But it's okay.
I mean, she definitely talked her talk right there, don't get me wrong. But a lot of what she was saying was absolutely true. Rich people don't make a big deal out of being inside of a designer store. They shop in stores and they can afford to buy that stuff, no problem. Why would they need to make a big get up about it and act like it's some sort of holiday? It truly is a massive difference, and it's very obvious to see fake rich versus real rich. Like they don't care about that. I'm not saying that because I'm rich. I'm clearly not. Y'all see me. Like I said, I wear the same black shirt every day, which even if when I'm rich, I'm probably still going to do the same. And I'm very minimalist. Y'all talk about my bare blank room all the time. Everyone's the same. Everything's the same color. But I have been around some people who have some real money. And I mean, this is spot on. You would never be able to tell. They would never ever say it or act like that, first off. And then if you just looked at them based off of physical appearance, no jewelry, regular fit, pajamas even, like she's saying, you would never know. You would never know. Real rich do not show off. There's a huge difference between being rich and being wealthy. The rich wants to flaunt. The truly wealthy, like Warren Buffett and Mark Zuckerberg, just drive normal cars, not into flaunting business. That's true too. So there definitely is levels to it. So someone can have a good amount of money, especially depending on where you are and the people you're around. You could have a good amount of money and still not be necessarily wealthy in today's terms. But that's enough to be able to do a little bit of flexing, to kind of showboat your money a little bit. That is true. I definitely think there is a level to where it's like I have more money than everybody else. That group, that select demographic, I do think does try to show off a little bit. But once you're truly wealthy, once again, I'm talking like you got some assets, you got generational wealth. Like he's saying, Warren Buffett money. You would never be able to tell. That is just, those guys want nothing to do with looking like they have money. They don't want attention on them for that at all. Facts. I always say be careful judging people. Another great example, Adam Sandler walks around in sweats and doesn't give a and he is breaded. Exactly. That's a whole lesson in itself. Don't judge a book by its cover. That could be a video. Let me know if you want me to dive into that more.
I'm 33 years old and I still drive my college car from 2012.
So, as a divorce lawyer, I work with a lot of rich clients, and part of the job is to know everything there's to know about their finances, like what kind of investments do they hold, what kind of bank accounts do they have, and what kind of cars do they drive. You would think that at their level of income in net worth, They're the ones out there driving the really nice cars that you see on the road or that you see on TikTok. Truth is, none of those people are driving nice cars. And in fact, you take a look at what they are driving and you think to yourself, you could probably treat yourself to a nicer car, man. And the lesson here for all us normal people is that there must be a reason why they're not driving nice cars despite being able to.
I personally know a lot of people who have luxury cars and have $1,000 monthly payments, and they struggle to max out their Roth IRA every year, which is very telling on how they prioritize their money. Be real rich, not fake rich, because success leaves clues.
Another one to just really hammer it home. A divorce lawyer said he sees it all the time. These really, really wealthy people driving really, really old cars. He thinks to himself, like, you could probably afford to treat yourself to a little bit of a nicer vehicle, but because of the mentality, the same mentality and mindset that got them rich, they're good. They're satisfied. That's all they need. And again, real wealth doesn't flex. Why do I need to drive that flashy vehicle? I don't want to stand out. I'm just trying to chill, be regular, drive something that gets me from point A to point B. Nothing drives better than a paid off car. Oh my gosh, ain't that the truth? Drive old cars, no depreciating assets. Yep, them cars depreciate quick, y'all. Like really quick. My ex-CEO used to drive a regular city car. I mean, y'all are seeing the trend here. I honestly, last year I did a lot of traveling and I was in Asia where I didn't have to rely on a vehicle. A lot of things, like for example, in Korea, like the subway system was very good, and in Thailand, like the BTS, the train system was very good. I'm sitting here jealous that I don't have that, because if that was the case, I just would not have a car. And even transportation, like the taxis and the motorbikes, were extremely cheap as well. So I just very jealous of that situation. If I could get a setup like that here in the States, I for sure would. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Be the one to start the conversation, please. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and check out this video right here. If you enjoyed this one, you will enjoy this one as well. Thanks for watching. Catch me in the next one. See ya.